It is so fixed, 33 departments only. And among them, Ekadasha Rudras are there. And among them, Dwadasha Adityas are there. And among them, Ashta Vasus are there. And among them, Ashwini Devatas are there. Ashwini Devatas are there to take care of, health department and medical department. That is Ashwini Devata's department. Their departments are fixed. But administration is very big. There are so many people, there are so many souls with their punyas appointed there, taking care of the department. They are doing. Some people, yes, they may worship them as gods. Let them do that. But who is the ultimate controller of all these devatas? You should realize that. There may be someone who is making ordinances, who may be making rules and policies, sitting somewhere else. But here, a person goes to a peon in office, and there only his work is. So he goes there and he says, you are my God, please do this work. And that fellow takes something and then he does the work. Then this fellow says, you are my God, you are my God. Do you think that it is the same person who is doing the whole thing? He is some X appointed there for a purpose, does something, and he does that work because he appointed, he is controlled by the top one. We may not be knowing the top one, but still the top one is there, who is doing all the things. Like that, Upanishads declared, and again in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as the essence of the Upanishad, he says, I am the one. Arjuna did not believe that because he went to the forest to get Pasupadastra also. There he worshipped him. And he showed his universal form in which he witnessed all the devatas. He witnessed all of these devatas. So, Krishna is the ultimate savior. He is the ultimate goal of all the souls. You worship him. At the same time, my friends, remember, don't hate anybody. Respect everyone. When you respect the chief minister of a state, you respect a peon also in the office because he is a person appointed, he is doing some duty there. Respect him. You need not disrespect him at all. You need not disrespect anyone, anywhere. Maybe he is working, may not be he is working, but still you have to respect everyone in the world. You can respect Christ also. You can respect other devatas. You can respect Islam. But respect anyone. Worship only one. That develops your concentration. That helps you in elevating yourself. If you are diverted in so many ways, then you yourself are losing your own attention. So even logically this is not practicable. So Krishna says, Maicha. In so many ways Krishna said. But we don't know how people who preach Bhagavad Gita are not able to worship him as the ultimate savior. Here is something we have to remember. Krishna says that you are in the kshetra and you are the kshetrajna and I am the one to be worshipped by you. So here he clearly shows three things, Maicha ananya yogena bhaktihi avyabhicharini. That's very much needed. In Sri Ramayana, again Rama showed that, if you be like that, being hooked to one and respect the rest of the world, even devatas come to you. Even devatas. You need not go to any devata at all. All the devatas are after you. See the history of Rama. Rama, according to Valmiki, I am talking. If you read Valmiki Ramayana, and Rama worshipped only one, that is seen only in Ayodhya Kanda. Nowhere in Ramayana you can find that Rama worshipped some god, except at one place, one in Ayodhya Kanda. In all the other places, what Rama did to practice righteous things, that is only mentioned. About his worship, it's only one way, that's in Ayodhya Kanda, before the coronation, when his father instructed him to observe the fasting in temple, he went to the temple of Lord Narayana. Narayanam upagamat sahapatnya Vishalakshya is only the thing which we find in Valmiki Ramayana. Okay, there may be so many other Ramayanas who were written in recent times, but if you want something authentic, if you want something authoritative one, it's only Valmiki. Because after finishing Ramayana, then he preached that to his disciples, Kusya and Lava, who went to Rama and sung this, got the attestation. This is true to my knowledge. Yes, he put his signature there. So that is only the one which we have to accept. Others, okay, somebody must have felt in their own way and they have written them. You can feel there's nothing wrong in it. Nowadays people are making different types of creating different types of gods. This is interesting. People have started creating gods. This is something strange, but it is true. Here in your Madras, especially for good or bad, probably I think this is the place. Astikyam is coming from this place, and Nastikyam coming in place, and distortion is also coming from this place. God, Madras is really great place. Here, in one temple, there is Hanuman, there is Pratyaya. How it comes? Because both are having different types of heads. So they mixed up both and they made one form. What it is? Who said so? Is there any Agama recommending that? We don't know. If it is a temple, an Agama should recommend. But there is no such Agama recommending that. And now, it's interesting that we created Pillayar Ganapati with Lakshmi as his wife. My God, what it is? It's Lakshmi Ganapati. I think you must have heard about this. And you may be going to so many temples like that to worship every day. But who was Lakshmi and who is Ganapati? Respect Ganapati, no doubt. Worship Ganapati, no doubt. But why you mix up both? You have some paityam and you want to impose it on gods? It's really sad. Freedom is given, it's misused. Democracy is always good, but controlled democracy is needed. Freedom shouldn't be misused, but it is so sadly misused by so many people. That's how so many temples are coming up nowadays. And so many are promoting them. I'm not going to say any korai along with them, no. But devotion is good, but it is otherwise channelized. See that it is rightly channelized, then something good will grow. Otherwise, why these many distortions, these many troubles in this world today? Because the mission is not working well. We are not able to see the temples are properly maintained. There are really good temples, but we ignored them. Nowadays we start creating temples like this Lakshmi with Ganapati, and I can't say them, so many things, Krishna, that's why he said, follow the Shastra first. Try to follow the Shastra and have belief in God and follow that. Sincerely follow that. You don't want, after all, we construct temples and we maintain temples for want of money, no? Yes? What is the purpose? Devotion, showing concern towards God? If that's the case, there is Agama for you. There is Agama showed base for each and every of your wish. And for every person also. Maybe in few big temples, a few restrictions are imposed on people. But there are provisions for everyone to go to the temple, worship God, to bring God to home and just worship Him. Yes. When there are chances like that, why these distortions to be imposed on them, to be created? Not necessary. This is due to lack of real knowledge, due to lack of understanding on Shastras. In Bhagavad Gita, in this 13th chapter, Krishna said, have the sthairya on Shastra first. Have control over your wishes, Atma Vinigraham, and then have the devotion towards Lord. And you have the devotion towards Lord, you can worship anyone you like. There's nothing wrong in it. Again, my friends, we always recommend, if you are not interested in worshipping Krishna, we are not going to object you. If you have love towards Lord Shiva, worship Lord Shiva one. Just one. Or if you have devotion towards Durga, worship Durga only. One deity, one God, one name, one mantra, and you can get anything. If you have joy, go there. If you have sorrow, go there. Just tell them, see, that they listen to you. God can manifest from any place, I said, right? In any form you like, no problem. But believe in one and respect everything. In 13th chapter he says, Maicha ananya yogena bhaktihi avyabhicharini. That is very important thing he said. To cultivate that, we need a sort of practice first, some sadhana. Now, so many for shortfalls, we will be always get disturbed. To have ourselves stronger, we need some sadhana. Yes. Do sadhana for some time, use it for the whole time. For any battery, if it get discharged, you have to charge it for some time. Then you can use it the whole day. Again, you just, rechargeable batteries are there now. No? What you do after using the whole night, again you fix it in the holder and let it get charged, and again you can use it whenever you want. Like that, see that you also energize your own heart. What do you call that? Your own manas. For which you need vivikta desha sevitvam. Sit alone, start practicing something, the name, chant some name, do meditate on your God. And whomever you like, if you like a man, just meditate on him. If you like a deity, meditate upon him. But one, keep one, do that. That's really good, always. Aratihi dhyana samsadi is the next one. Wherever there is much crowd, just keep away from that crowd yourself. But you have to understand, you have to remember, not with good people. If there are good number of devotees, be with them. But if they are not devotees, just take whatever just you need from them and just keep yourself away from them. Jana samsadi must not always keeping ourselves somewhere in the forest or on peaks of mountains. No, that's not what Krishna says. Vivikta desha sevitvam is enough for you to keep yourself aloof from people and do practicing something. But whoever is having the same tune with you, same ideology like you, be with them. Otherwise, just keep yourself away from them. Always teaches, because they'll be teaching something or the other. If he is with them, that's good. But whoever disturbs your goal, don't be with them. Aratihi jana samsadi. And two final things he says. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam is important thing. Adhyatma jnanam is spiritual knowledge. Seeking for spiritual knowledge. Keep that always. Try to understand about Atma, about the manas, and about its activities. This should be needed. This is eagerness. No, I want to know about this more about Rama. in spite of knowing so many things, whenever he used to get some little time in between his archery practices, he used to go to great people and sit there. If his teacher, after teaching for a couple of hours, if his teacher takes rest, or if he goes for some coffee or chai, then and his friends, all his friends also used to take some sort of snacks. But Rama never used to go like that. Whenever he gets time, he used to go to great people. Astrantareshvapi, Valmiki says, interestingly, Astrantareshvapi, he used to go to teachers, he used to go to great people, he used to sit with them and try to understand whatever they say, whatever they speak, whatever realities they are revealing. This is very important. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam, having that spiritual mind always, spiritual seeking always. Tattva jnanardha chintanam, this is next one. Spirituality, theology, philosophy, religion, all these different words. But for us, all these are just one. But looking at the one from different angles. The whole life is one. If you look at this life from one corner, you can find rituals. From the other corner, if you find spirituality. From the other angle, if you look at it, it's philosophy. From other angle, if you look at it, it's philosophy or it's theology. They are not separate for us. We started thinking about them differently because we are just copying Westerners. For West, philosophy is something different, theology is something different, spirituality is something different, religious practices are something different. Keeping them in mind, we people started telling, oh, religious practices are not important. All these rituals are just for beginners. We need to have the spiritual understandings. We need to have the philosophy. So they think that if a person is a spiritual one, he is at a higher level. If he is a philosopher, he is still at a higher levels. And if he is a theologist, oh, he is above all these guys. And if he is a ritualistic one, he is at the bottom. This is, due to lack of understanding, real understanding of the whole. For us, whatever we do is a ritual. Wake up in the morning, or just clean your teeth, take a bath, and go to office, and eat food, cook food, and help others. Each one is a way of worshipping God. Each one is a ritual. Each one is a religious practice for us. Even whenever just we wake up in the morning, we start chanting Lord's name and then wake up. We feel the presence of God in the body, in the earth, in all our surroundings. And when we start cleaning the teeth, we never think that I am cleaning my own body. No. We think that this is God's place. This is the temple of God. This is a mobile temple. And God is here. I am the pujari. I am the devotee of the Lord. I am cleaning this. I am just doing abhishekam to this temple. And thus I am keeping it clean. I am making it fit for my God's stay in this temple. Then you start cleaning it. Then you start doing that, what you call applying that oil and other things. Then you start taking that shower, thinking that it is doing abhishekam to God's temple only. Then whenever just you go for meditation, then you think you are doing something to God. That is His prayer. This is His temple's prayer. And whenever just you go to kitchen and start cooking, you never think that this is to fill up my belly, I am cooking. No. It is for sake of God I am cooking. Then whenever just you eat, you think, my Lord, in this temple, please accept this food. Then we give that. Krishna in 3rd chapter, he declared, whoever cooks to fill up his own stomach is not cooking food but sins. He is not eating food but sins. Te tu agham bhunjate papaha ye pachanti atma karanat. And whoever cooks for sake of God, then they are doing yajna. Cooking for God means don't think that you have to take everything to the temple and just offer in the temple. No. This itself is a temple. So you can, ultimately you are the one who are eating. Don't think that you have to give somebody, or don't think that it is devotees come and just take the prasadam away from your house. No. You are only the one who is eating. But you think here is God. And even you go to office, deal with files and papers, still it is a worship of God. It's a way of worshipping God again. So all the activities are rituals for us. Some people thought that ritual, that means they're going to Om Gezavaya Namaha, that is only the ritual. Or Swaha is only the ritual. They are for some people. Yes, maybe so, but it's a way of doing rituals. But this is another way of doing rituals. If all these are linked together, that's the life. So ritual is what you practice. Spirituality, whenever you know something about something, the soul. Philosophy, when you talk about the concepts of those things. And theology is knowing about the nature, knowing about the soul, knowing about God, and knowing about their activities, knowing about their relationships, and so on and so forth. So these are, different facets of the same thing. How could you separate them? Is there any way to separate these things? You cannot. But it is something sad, We look everything from the Western eye. And then we start telling about these things. There the whole trouble starts for us. That's why Krishna says, there, Maicha Bhakti he said, Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam, he says, and Tattva Jnanardha Chintanam, he says. It seems everything is a repentance. And why Krishna says these many things? Oh my God, probably he has no time, he has no words, and then he's having nothing to say. So just he again and again repeating the same thing. No. Mayi Bhakti he is specifying God. Tattva Jnanardha Chintanam, talking about the soul. And Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam. Tattva Jnanardha Chintanam is talking about the realities. Nature is the real one, soul is the real one, and God is the real one. Discuss something about them, know something about them, and know something about them in real. What Veda talks about them, what Upanishads talk about them, what Brahma Sutras talk about them. Because at the beginning itself he said, these are the three things, Brahma Sutra Padaischevam Hetumadbhir Vinishchitaihi. The beginning of this chapter he said. So you need Brahma Sutras to have clear understanding about all these concepts. So whatever is recommended by Brahma Sutras, by the great sages like Veda Vyasa, whatever philosophy is supported by the great sages like Vasishtha, and whatever the spirituality you practice when the great seers showed you, and whatever the ritualistic practices your forefathers and your acharyas recommended to you to practice, keep them doing always. My friend Arjuna, etat jnanamiti proktam ajnanam yadatonyatha. This is only the jnanam. Wherever I talk about jnanam, if you know all these 19 things, we can call you as a jnani. Otherwise, you may be having so many things known, but we are not going to consider that person as a jnani. For a person who is in the waters, the very essential thing he needs to know is swimming. If that's known, yes, he is fit to be in the water. Otherwise he can't. But you are here. You are already in this water. In the water of what you call Trishna Toye, you are here always. And now you need to know how to swim. And here are 19 things to learn the swimming. Start swimming. If you don't know, or if you don't want to know about these things and practice these things, then you may be drowned. You cannot reach the end. That's why he says, Ajnanam yadatonyatha. Other than these things, whatever you may be knowing, it is called Ajnana only. And about knowing Atma, see, at the beginning, he said that I am going to describe the natures of the soul and nature. Talking about the nature, he gave 5 replies. Tat kshetram yaccha yadricha yadvikari yatascha yat. 5 things he revealed. And while talking about the soul, sacha yaha yat prabhavascha, I am going to reveal you about the soul, saying that how soul has to practice. One, by practicing these things, how he gets his form. What he has to know about himself. This is when he is hooked with the body. I recommended so far 19 things. But if he comes out of the body, if he comes away from the body, if he released from these bondages of karma, when he is in the bondages of karma, yes, these are things to be known. Okay, by practicing these things, he'll be released. Okay, after releasing from these things, how he will be, that also to be known. Such a yat prabhavascha, what his real greatness is, how he will be always. 22 details were given by him. Anadi, matparam, brahma, na sat, na asat, so many things. Soul has no beginning and thus no ending also. It never dies. Though all these things were described already at the beginning, but still consolidating all those things at one place and just start revealing to us. He is anadi, he is eternal. Matparam, again Krishna says here, while discussing about the clear soul's nature, that means Suddhatma Swarupa. Here we are not Suddhatmas, we are Baddhatmas now, because we are tied up with the karma and we are in this mundane world. But if we are away from this, then how we will be? Some people think, maybe now we are here in this body and we have to worship Krishna, but after getting out of this body, we need not worship anyone because we ourselves become God. Because aham brahmasmi by the time. Then whom I have to worship? All these ghatakasyas will be merged in Mahakasyam. Then nothing will be there. Who will be there to worship and whom has to be worshipped? No one. But here, my friends, in 14th chapter, it's interesting to note, Krishna says, soul is anadi. If he said soul is anadi means, and he is also anadi. That means soul and God will be there forever. And again, soul is not an independent one. He immediately says, Matparam. It is mine. It has me as the boss, always. Maybe here in this world, maybe there in the eternal world, still soul is under my control only. In 7th chapter, he discussed about this and said, a person, if interested in enjoying self-realization, then does he need Krishna's worship? He said, yes. Jaramarana mokshaya mam asritya ye yatanti tayeva prapnuvanti. Even to enjoy the kaivalyam, what we call the kaivalyam, right? The soul realization is called kaivalyam. Kevala suddhatma anubhava is called kaivalya. Even to enjoy that kaivalyam also, I am the one who has to sanction that to you. If I won't sanction, you never get the Atma Sakshatkaram also. Some people who are interested in Atma Sakshatkara, they are not worshipping Lord Krishna. They are worshipping themselves. They are worshipping only some sunyam. But Krishna didn't say. But where from these people got, I don't know. But if you believe in Gita, if you want to follow Lord Krishna or Gita, it says so. Then if you believe in it, it's fine. So there he said that soul is under my control and I am the boss of the soul. Again in this 13th chapter he declares, Mat param, soul is my subordinate, always. Subordinate doesn't mean that it is my servant. Subordinate doesn't mean he is my slave. No. I respect him more than me. In one of his songs, Nammalvar wonderfully says, when soul has that realization, worships God with avyabhicharani bhakti, and when the soul reaches him, immediately he says, "Come on, my son. Oh, you came now? Nee kandukol. In the veedu unukkahadana vechirike ettannaalum. Nee kandukol ennu veedum tarum ninnu ninne." Just he hands over the entire universe in your hands and he says, "Oh my God, now I am relieved from the burdens. You are the one, you are everything now. Come on, you rule the world, you rule this universe. Now I am free now, my son." That's the grace of Lord. That's the concern of Lord towards you. So don't think that subordinating means always just, just washing his clothes and just spreading his bed and just doing the Paraseva. If you have love, do that. If you don't have love, you need not do that. But doing those services is not subordinance. It's not Seshatvam to God at all. Atma is always his belonging. Here he says, "Mat param," I am the Seshi. So I am indweller, I am supporter, and I am the controller. So as I declare, as I control, the soul will enjoy. So if soul wants to enjoy good things, let the soul worship me. That's what he declares. And at the same time, it is Brahma. Brahma means it not only spreading only in the particular body in which it is, but other than this also it can spread its knowledge, because the knowledge of the soul is tremendous. As God has his knowledge in Vibhu form, that means spreading all over the universe and above the universe also. Thus we also having tremendous amount of knowledge with us. But now we are not able to use that because the karma is totally just contracting that. Come out of that shell. You can't come out of that if you want to come. But if he allows, yes, you can come. So to come out of the shell, start believing in him, worshipping him, and just surrendering to him. Then you can come out of the shell. The moment you come out, oh, it's irresistible. You become Vibhu, not by form, because again here he says, "Sukshmatvat tad avijneyam." Soul's size is so small. Sukshma, he says. In one of the Upanishads it is said, the size of the soul is 1/10,000th of the edge of tail. If you take a small grain and if you take the embryo of it, it is called vala in Sanskrit. Vala means an embryo of a small seed. If you take the end of that embryo, cut that into 10,000 pieces, soul is still smaller than that. Not the embryo, end of the embryo, edge of the embryo, if you cut into 10,000 pieces, valagra seta bhagasya setadha kalpitasya cha bhago jivasya vijneyah sacha anantyaya kalpate is the Upanishad. It's Svetasvetaram says so. So the size is that. Though size is so small, but your greatness is something unspeakable. My friends, remember one thing. Though Krishna described 22 things, 22 qualities of the soul, I am not interested in telling all those things to you and taking much of your time. Just one thing I'll tell you. Have you seen sun? How he will be delighting the whole universe, all the world. Do you know? Sun is only a planet. It's a planet, it's a person. It's an inanimate planet. Still, he could give life to us. How is he giving? Do you know that? Not that planet could give something to us. It's again a soul. Soul in that planet being controlled by God, giving tremendous amount of light to the whole world and energy to the world, inspiring billions, trillions and so many number of our Mahasankhas, not just billions, trillions, Sankha and Mahasankhas of lives, good zeal, energy, inspiration, these things are being given by the sun. Remember, sun is after all a soul. A soul worshipped Lord Krishna, blessed with him and blessed by Krishna, and soul has been given a seat by name sun. As we got this body, thus another soul got that body. But it is really great. The soul in that body is inspiring so many number of souls. Every day, every minute, every second. Sometime this part of the earth, sometime other part of the earth. But all the times, he is just giving life, he is just giving energy, he is just giving inspiration, he is just giving enthusiasm and so on and so forth to people, wherever he is, wherever he appears. Are you like that? Are you like that? Whenever people look at our face, they don't want to see our face at all. We don't want to be like that. Whenever just we come, we want people, I got you. We want people to show like that. We want people to see like that. Isn't it? By seeing you, people should feel joy always. By seeing you, people should get inspiration. By seeing you, people should get the enthusiasm. As people see the sun, as that particular soul is really blessed by God, so he gave a wonderful body through which it can give tremendous light. We can't do that. We can't give that light. For us, we need some light. If that light is there, then only just our face could be seen. If that light is off, then it is turned off, then nobody could see our face. Could we like that? Are we like that? But if it is with a small creature, what you call that creature, whenever it opens its wings, light comes. Another pair, you know that. You understood that. That's enough. You understood that, right? It's a small creature. It's a small insect. That insect doesn't need any light. That itself gives light. You posing as if you are greater than that, still you need light. Even to show your own face. Otherwise you can't. But sun, another soul, just like you, got a body who doesn't need any light and who allows you also to see wonderful things, not depending upon any light. And he also allows you not to hold any light at all. He gives light to you. How great that soul is, He is also one of the souls like us, my friends. Yes, he is also one of the souls. But he believed in the recommendations of Krishna and then he practiced it and he got it. Jyotishamapi tajyotihi. In one of the 22 things, he said, Jyotishamapi tajyotihi. The soul is jyotis to all the jyotis. If your real nature is, revealed, you doesn't need the sun. You are brilliant than the sun. Yes, you are powerful than the sun. Your nature is that. As God is more powerful than this sun, na tatra suryo bhati, na chandratarakam, nema vidyito bhanti, kutoyam agni, is the real nature of God. And if you meditate upon Him, paramam samyam upaiti, He allows you to become like Him. You will be elevated to his level. He promised in the same Gita, Mama sadharmyamapa agata sargepe nopajayante pralayena vyadanti cha. My son Arjuna, whoever meditates upon me, he will become equal to me. I allow him to become equal to me. That means no karma bondage, no limitations in will, in getting body, in getting pleasures, in getting joys, in moving. Wherever just you want, you can go. Whichever you want, you can enjoy. You need not depend on body also. If you want 1,000 bodies to get, you can get within no time with a just simple thought. Are you interested? That is not becoming possible now. If that is possible now, we heard that in Madras there are about 5 to 6 people discussing about the 13th chapter, no? So we can keep one body here, we can keep the other body there, we can keep another body there. At the same time, we can keep one body in the kitchen body before TV, and one body in cinema, one body in beach, and one body in somewhere else, one body of relatives. But it's not becoming possible for us. We are just so constrained with just single body. Even this body also not taking care of us. We are not able to control this body, though we have just one. But our interest, are you interested in getting such a body? As you dictate, it should work. If you want to become 1,000, yes. If you want just to fly in the sky, yes, it should be in a position to fly. If you want to get into the earth, it should be in a position to. If you want to say, just go through the water, yes, it should be. If you want to be on the moon, just within no time you should be on the moon. Swamiji, you are just simply joking. No. It's the Upanishad which promised. It is Krishna who promised again. So, yadi Pitru Lokan Gantu Chati, yes, he can go there. If he wants to go to his Pitrulokas, he can go. If you want to go to Devalokas, he can go. If you want to go to somewhere else, he can go. If he wants to enjoy this 10 this ekadha bhavati, tridha bhavati, panchadha bhavati, dasadha bhavati, syatadha bhavati, sahasradha bhavati, anekadha bhavati. Yes, he can become like that. This is what he said. This is the real nature of the soul. Soul means don't think it is someone else. It is he. Our real nature is that, provided practice these 19 things. Just 19. That's why, my friends, note down all these 19 things on a paper. Just mark all the days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 30. Just before sleeping, whatever just your practice, just start taking down them. Try to practice at least, 1% of them. If you could, I'm sure that you could practice all of them. Start practicing them. See that is maintained. This is not just for a day or two, for a month or two, for a year or two. Make it a regular practice to do that and see the result. In 13th chapter, Lord Krishna has revealed wonderful things. But friends, we have our own constraints. We have our own limitations. We are not able to just know everything what he wanted us to know. What he wanted to communicate to us, we only get depending upon the container. Our container is very small. That is a big, vast ocean. But we have only 1 milliliter? Yes. We have, our container is only 1 ml container. And how could we get the whole thing? It's impossible. Still, we are interested. We want to peep into that. We want to swim. And we want to jump into that. We did it. We may not, cross through the whole thing, but we make an attempt. That itself is great. We are interested, even that itself is enough. So that is what we did during all these 7 days, my friends. We could not finish the whole chapter, but the important part of it has been discussed in our own way. And again, language is a big problem. Our Vikas Tarangini people wanted to teach us English, so they wanted us to speak in English, and we tried to speak, and we tried to discuss a few things in our own way. And I know that we are testing your patience more number of times, and you are really grateful of Lord. So let anybody speak. Maybe he is a great scholar, maybe he is an innocent. It's always beautiful, it's always good, it's always sweet. Maybe the person who is enjoying it, a great scholar or an innocent, he enjoys that. And you are really great, because being in Madras, being captured by so many diversions, and being in Madras, blessed by so many acharyas, being in Madras and blessed by so many deities all around, you got wonderful things. Still, his katha, his name, his act, and his preaching always inspires us to do something good, to go ahead a step ahead. So that is what you did, and that is what we are blessed with. And the whole credit goes to our Vikas Tarangini members, who made us to enjoy all these 7 evenings here. And our volunteers and really made the whole thing possible with their real commitment and devotion by arranging. See how beautifully they decorated. Decoration, arranging things for sake of God, how beautiful it appears, how great it is. So this is what they did, this is what our Jet people did, and you also, with tremendous amount of patience and with real affection and love, enjoyed these discussions and discourses of all these evenings. And we are really happy you are also joined in chanting Sri Lakshmi Astotram and Vishnu Sahasranama every evening with joy. And let Lord Krishna keep us always in his laps. Let him take care of us always, and let him be with us within our hearts, making all these bodies as his beloved temples, divine abodes, so that they join always with great people and maintain the sanctity and purity to realize him better. We offer our Mangala Sasnams to one and all who made this a wonderful event. Once let us chant his name and conclude this. Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana. Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Jai Jai. Jai Lakshmi Narayana, Jai Lakshmi Narayana. Jai Lakshmi Narayana, Jai Jai Jai. Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana. Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Sriman Narayana. Jai Sriman Narayana, Jai Jai Jai. Jai Lakshmi Narayana, Jai Lakshmi Narayana. जय लक्ष्मी नारायण जय जय जय। बोलो जय श्रीमन नारायण जय श्रीमन नारायण।